A couple of hours ago, a post from a portfolio website was found from a previous Click team worker who was showing off his work from what seems to be a Five Nights at Freddy's 1 remake. Now, it does seem like it was made 3 years ago, and around that time, Click team was showing off Five Nights at Freddy's kind of teasers for an upcoming game, but we never got what that game was. So it does seem like it was cancelled, but today we're going to be talking about maybe why it was cancelled and what it would have been. Before we do anything, I want to show you the images that were posted. There's about 3 or 4 images posted, and here are all of them individually on the screen. Now, it does seem like there's a back and front vent in this, which is really interesting to see because in the original Five Nights at Freddy's game, we don't see this in the office. So it's quite interesting to see this, but we can obviously see that it is the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 office because on the right-hand side, we can see a celebration poster in the dark corner of the room, which does signify that it is Five Nights at Freddy's 1. First thing I want to talk about is going into depth of the actual office and the images we see. Now, obviously, the first thing we're going to talk about is the vents. Now, the front vent, we don't really see like a lever to pull or like a button, but on the back side, the back vent, we see a kind of lever button looking thing, which is really interesting to see because usually in the FNAF games, when it's a vent, we don't usually have a door to close on that vent. It's more of a flashlight, which we see in FNAF 2, and it's a Freddy head. So it's really interesting to see this and how it would work. The next image I want to talk about is the front side of the office. Now we can see a kind of monitor at the front, then we can see 3 cameras like box monitors to the right. But the thing that kind of sticks out is the big window in the middle. Now I'm not sure who those eyes are. My biggest guess, it would have to be maybe Golden Freddy, maybe even Bonnie or Freddy. I'm not really sure. It sucks that this game is quote unquote cancelled because it would have been really cool to see who those eyes were and what the mechanics would have been to see. So it kind of sucks that this game is it's cancelled, but I'm sure Scott Cawthon had his reasons. Looking at it from a front angle, it does seem to be like some sort of window. We can see it ending just at the far left and the far right, so maybe it was a window, and we can see the animatronic at the front, which would be terrifying if you would like knock on the door or something. It'd be cool if we could like maybe repel him some way, or even if it was a like marionette or something, which would be pretty cool. I genuinely don't know what animatronic this would be. It would have to be either Golden Freddy or the marionette or some sort of, I don't know, new character maybe. I'm not really sure. But it's just really strange that there's a window now. I feel like, I'm not really sure, but it's really weird. It's a shame that we don't know what it was, and we probably we'll never know what it is. So it's kind of really sad, but it's whatever. In the next image, we can see the left and right doors, which is really cool to see. Again, we can see the white lights. We can see the left and right buttons. And that's all we can really see that's kind of new, I would say. There is a weird box thing just above the vent. So maybe that's something you would put over the vent to repel him, maybe. I'm not really sure. But it's a remake, so there's not going to be many things that are new or noticeable that is new. So and then moving on to the last image, it's just an image of what the back room looks like. It does make me wonder if we would be able to move around in the office in this game, or we would just kind of it's like a FNAF 4 situation where you would just pull your arrow to the back and it would put you to the back. I'm sure this is what would happen, but it's really interesting to see. We can see a kind of locker to the left and then a shelf to the right, just like junk and boxes, which is understandable. Now that we've gone through the new images, now let's go back to the old images that were released in 2023. Starting off with the first image, we can see a old Bonnie and old Freddy plushie looking thing, and then behind the Bonnie we can see like a kind of a box thing. Not much to this image, literally nothing. There's nothing to talk about. It's interesting that they're old and ruggedy, so maybe this is kind of after the location shut down, which would be kind of realistic to what the law we have at the moment, because in the games it's theorized that Michael goes to the restaurants after the location closed down to kind of be a security for like break-ins and stuff, for parties and whatnot. So that kind of does lean to that side a bit, I believe. So yeah, not much to talk about, but this next image, there is a lot to talk about. It looks to be a poster of a caution sign saying stay clear of animatronics while we finish construction. Now this is interesting because while we finish construction, I'm not sure what that could mean. I really don't know what that could mean, but stay clear of animatronics. In FNAF 1 there is a sign that is rules for safety, and on the 5th rule it is don't touch Freddy, which Freddy is the animatronic we see in this caution sign. So I'm pretty sure it would be a reference to that, meaning it obviously is FNAF 1, which you already previously knew. And yeah, so it's kind of interesting that they would post this. Maybe it's signifying a remake of when the location first came out, but again, that doesn't really make sense with the plushies being old, so I really have no idea what it could be. The last image is the most info giving image. It looks to be a dining room. We can see Foxy to the right, Bonnie in the middle, Freddy to the left, which is this is really interesting to see. Now for the actual tables, this does look extremely similar to Five Nights at Freddy's 1. We can see the dining room in Five Nights at Freddy's 1, and it does look to be the white kind of cloth with the colourful stars on it. After these images were released, nothing came out of it. A lot of people made YouTube videos about the images and what it could mean, and then just nothing came out of it. Then I believe the next game that was out was Ruin, and then people just thought these images were connected to the Ruin, and then just everyone forgot about it after Ruin came out. So it's interesting to see, but yeah, I think these images are connected to this game that they were making, and then halfway they had to cancel it. Maybe they tried focusing on Secrets of the Mimic after this or something. I'm not really sure. But now we're out of the way, let's talk about why they would have cancelled it. Now it's not confirmed that it is cancelled, but the images were posted on the Portfolio website in 2023 and were later updated in 2024. So that is a very long timestamp from 2023 to 2026. I just don't think that a game like this, like a remake, would take that long to make. Here is why I believe it was cancelled. The FNAF 1 movie came out in October 23rd, 2023. These images came out around that time. Now, this is what the completed kind of version is. So, dating back maybe, I would say maybe 3 or 4 months to make this and, get confirmed to do it, get the budget to do it. It would have lined up around the time he was making the movie and getting just very busy with it. And obviously, I don't think Steelwool team would have anything to do with this because it's obviously a remake and they're focusing on Secrets of the Mimic, Ruin, etc. So I believe that he was just too focused on the movie, which is a good thing, and he just didn't have time for it and just decided to scrap it. Maybe he just didn't like it, maybe it just wasn't for him, or yeah. So I believe that it would have just been too much with the FNAF 1 movie and this to just deal with, so he decided to just scrap it, which is fair enough. I personally don't think we need a FNAF 1 remake. I think the FNAF 1 game is just perfect in itself, doesn't need a remake for anything. But in my opinion, it would have been really cool to see this game come out. Maybe he would have wanted to expand off and more visualize what was going on around for the FNAF 1 time, which I think would have been really cool to see. But it is unfortunate that he's obviously, who knows, he might continue with this, but it does seem like it's cancelled, which does kind of suck. So yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing this game come out anytime soon. The questions I would really like to see is who the animatronic is in the window and in the vent, and how the mechanics would have worked. And that's all the information I kind of have for it. Thank you for watching this video. I haven't posted in literally years. I apologize for that, but I promise you I'm working on big things behind the scenes. I have a video coming out. I'm not really sure. It's a big video. It's like, I'll give you a hint, it's 30 minutes long. It is going to be 2 parts because for some reason the video editing app I work on, it just wouldn't let me do a clip longer than 30 minutes, so I had to make it a two-parter. I will be releasing the first one, then after I release the first one, I'm going to be working on the second one, which that means I'm going to be doing voiceovers, gameplay, editing it, getting the information, visualizing it, yeah, so it's going to be quite some time after the first one. I might even work on like a little video here and there, just a video that I start the same day I finish it, you know what I mean? So it's not going to be like a big time, but I promise you I'm working really, really hard. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, leave a like, put notifications on. See ya.